Hello, GCPA teaching artists. Let's talk about planning and preparing for your classes. So your holy grail as a teaching artist at GCPA is a shared Google Drive folder called GCPA Teacher Resources. You'll be shared on the link to that and you'll have access to everything inside of it. Of course, let us know if something in there is not working and you're not getting access, but you should be able to get into everything that's there. And so in that folder, you're going to find training videos like this one, FAQ sheets, how-to sheets. So if you are sort of bumping up against some of the common teacher questions, how do I do this? Where do I find that? Try to reference those and see if that answers your question. There will also be a folder in there called scripts and scores. And as you can imagine, over the years, we have amassed a lot of those, as well as miscellaneous sheet music for different songs we've used and things like that. So you are welcome to anything that is in there. You are also welcome to add to that. If you would just like to be helpful and share what you have with the group, we very much appreciate that, and you are free to add into that folder as well. Please just keep in mind the ethical use for educational purposes only of these materials. Don't go crazy copying and distributing them. Just use what you need for your classes, and that is all. You're also going to find some templates in there. So we do ask that if you are modifying or creating a scene or a lyric sheet for your songs, that you use the provided GCPA templates. You can download it onto your computer and create it from there. You can make a copy and do it right in Google Drive, whatever's convenient. But please do use the templating that we have provided for that. Of course, if you're just copying a scene or a song verbatim from a script or a score and you're not changing anything, it's fine to just photocopy that. But if you are making modifications to anything, if you're taking a scene from Newsies, for example, and you've got 12 kids in your musical theater performance class and you want to make sure everybody has a line, or you're, trying to condense the scene so that it, fits in like a smaller amount of time, or those sorts of things, so you're making modifications, that's when we ask that you use these templates. And you'll see lots of examples in this folder. You're welcome to just straight up use the scene examples that are in there. Again, teachers, if you have ones that you'd like to contribute just to be helpful, feel free to drop them in there. So just be mindful of the templates, and it'll help give you an idea of how we've made some modifications to the materials in order to suit the needs of the class. So you'll have that as well. As far as music tracks go, so of course we encourage music teachers to accompany in their class as much as possible. You'll be using the piano for warm-ups and vocalization and things like that. When you get into your songs, please do accompany as much as you can. You are of course welcome to use tracks, and we actually do encourage the use of tracks as you prepare for final demonstrations and class finales. Because you won't necessarily have access to a piano all the time for those. So you do want to prepare your class with tracks as well. If you need help cutting tracks, finding backing tracks with no vocals, things like that, again, reach out to teachers in your group, reach out to me and Christy, and we can definitely help you to get the things that you need. The idea is that you are not having to spend hours and hours of your time outside of the classroom trying to find the materials that you need. We're trying really hard to just put it all in one place, put enough there to give you ideas and to get you started so that you're not starting over from scratch, reinventing the wheel. We hope that what's in this folder will help you to kind of be a couple of steps ahead and shorten the time that you're having to work outside of class. And of course, if myself or Christy can be a resource to help make that go faster for you as well, reach out. We're happy to help you do that. All right, here's our secret question for the planning and preparation video. If you respond to my email and you answer this question, I'll enter you into a drawing to win a gift card, and we'll have a couple winners. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Okay, so here's the question. If you are a veteran teacher, returning teacher, what is one piece of advice that you would give to a new teacher about teaching at GCPA or teaching in the performing arts What's one piece of advice that you would give to a new teacher who's coming in and just starting out teaching performing arts? If you're a new teacher, what is one thing that you would like to know? Something that you're feeling nervous about, something that you're a little unsure of, like how's this going to go, or how am I going to do this part of it? What's one thing that you would love some advice about from a veteran teacher? I look forward to your responses. Lastly in this folder, maybe not lastly, I'm sure there's stuff that I'll throw in there that I'm not mentioning in this video, but last important thing I want to draw your attention to is the curriculum guides. There will be a folder of all curriculum guides for all classes. It's pretty extensive. It's a lot of documents, but we do encourage you to look through that for all of the things that you're teaching. I also want to encourage you to look at the level before you and after you. So if you're teaching a level 2 class, please look at the level 1 curriculum guide and the level 3 curriculum guide so that you have a really clear sense of hopefully where these students are coming from as they get to you and where you're trying to get them as you advance them to the next level whenever they're ready for that. And I encourage you to look at all the levels so you kind of see the big picture, but definitely just the levels around what you're teaching. Right now, these curriculum guides are very broad. We're actually in the process of rewriting and supplementing and getting more detailed in them. The goal is to provide a lot of flexibility for you. We like our teaching artists to have the flexibility to teach the way that they want to teach, and to bring in the materials they want to bring in, do the warm-ups they want to do. We don't want to script your lessons down for you. But of course we realize that it's helpful to have some structure as well. So we're trying to kind of find the middle ground in the curriculum guides that we provide. So we're working on that, and you'll begin to see some changes in that folder. And I, of course, will be telling you about those as well. But for now, take them for what they are. Of course, ask all the questions. I am happy to set you free to do you, or to provide you with as much detail and instruction as you need from me to feel confident and successful in the classroom. So do take a look at those curriculum guides. And then just a quick word on leveling, and then we'll be done with this training video. So the levels at GCPA are not meant to be comparable to a formal dance studio or that sort of thing. We have found that our niche of students tends to be ones who do not prefer to work and to develop within a very traditional classical model of performing arts development. Many of them come to us later, and they go to a traditional studio and they're told, well, you started too late, you're too old, you're never going to catch up. And so many people find a place at GCPA where teaching artists will still come alongside them and do everything they can to teach them, to get them into what they love and what they're passionate about, and to help them meet their goals. So you will find that our levels are different from what you would see at a traditional studio. That said, it is not that we want our training to be lax or, not as challenging. Quite the opposite. Our mission is to provide the highest standard of performing arts training and to hold our students to a high standard, both in the classroom and on the stage. And so I do just want to make sure that you are raising the bar high. Particularly in the middle levels, it can get a little muddy sometimes. And I think it will be more tempting to teach down. And also this happens when we have mixed level classes, level 5, 6, level 3, 4. Sometimes we do have to mix levels because of the students who are in front of us in a given semester. And so I realize that that can be tricky, but I just want to encourage you to keep pushing that bar up and level them up. Don't let it get low and crazy and just whatever the students want and that kind of thing. Hold them to high standards. And it is not the expectation that students advance to the next level after just 1 year of study. They advance when they have met the criteria for that level, and as you're looking to the next level and what that criteria is, that you can see that they're going to be successful heading into the next level of expectation. So don't feel like you just have to advance everybody. It is okay to recommend that students stay in the same level for more than 1 year. And we'll be talking more about placements and recommendations in a different training video. But just keep that in mind. And I really just want to encourage you to hold your classes to a high standard and to really lean into teaching the discipline of singing and dancing and acting. Of course, make it fun. Of course, bring in the stuff that they love to do, play the games, all of those things. But really make sure that you're balancing the fun with true performing arts education. I'll be popping in to observe your classes. I'm here to help. I'll be guiding as we go along. But yes, I just want to encourage you to think about keeping that bar high. And I believe you will find that your students rise to that. When we raise the bar and we hold clear, strong, high expectations for our students, they always get there. They always rise to it. And so I'm excited to see that play out in your classes this year.